how to make these beautiful pieces. For this project, I made 2 of these wall decor pieces, and I'll be showing you how I made one of them. And if you want to make 2, then obviously you just double everything. So I started out with 4.5 of these 4x6 picture frames. I just took them apart. I'll be using just the actual frame part of this, and I do always keep my pieces for future projects, like the little hanging brackets especially. I used one of these in the wall chandelier light I made a couple of weeks ago. Also, you need to know that these 4x6 frames have a smaller frame within them, and I'll be using that at the end. So I'm going to put a couple of these to the side. Once I have removed everything, I use a pair of pliers to remove the little tabs by twisting and pulling. Next, I need to remove the little thin bracket that's holding the corner parts together. Now, I've done this before for a candle holder I made, but I've since found a much easier way to do this. I'm right-handed, by the way, so I hold the frame like you see here, and I simply push down with my right hand and pull up with my left hand, and they come apart very easily. One frame piece will still have the bracket in it, so you'll just need to grab a pair of pliers and pull straight out and repeat the process for all your pieces. Now, if you pull and twist like we've done the little tabs, these frames will crack and break. Detaching them this way, they do not. And it's just really easy to do. So I go ahead and I separate all my frame pieces, and I use the little Jinga wooden pieces or Tumble Tower game from Dollar Tree in the kids section. I painted my pieces white because I wasn't sure when I started if the little Jenga pieces would kind of be showing through or not. As it turns out, they're actually perfect and the perfect size to fit in the little indentation part of the frame. So I glue these inside of my picture frame with hot glue. That's all the preparing that we have to do to our pieces. Now it's time to lay out our design. The center is 2 6-inch pieces lined up top and bottom, and that's going to be my center. And from there, I'll be going out on both sides, lining up top and bottom. So the next row, I have a 6-inch and a 4-inch top and bottom. And my next row is 2 4-inch pieces on both sides, top and bottom. And then I have 1 6-inch on both sides. And for the last end pieces, it's just 1 4-inch piece on both sides. Once I had my layout and I was happy with it, I hot glued the wooden Jenga pieces to the sides of the picture frames one by one. And as it gets bigger, I flip my frame over and glue the wooden pieces, connecting the gaps, and randomly started gluing on the back, just, in the little cracks there, making it stronger, or the grooves. And I was surprised how perfect these Jenga pieces were fitting. It was almost kind of like they were custom pieces, because they really did. They fit so good. So when I pick up any part of the frame, it was like picking up one solid piece. To add some dimension and conceal the cracks where the center frames meet, I layered this design with more frames. This time I covered the front of it with 4 frames that had diamond wrap on them. And I also used that small inside frame that I mentioned in the very beginning. And I removed that center bracket just like I did with the big frames. And so what I'm going to do is cover diamond wrap on these as well. And it's just 1 row of diamond wrap. And for the center, I'm going to start out just as I did the bigger ones. I'm going to lay a 6 on the top and a 6-inch on the bottom for my center. And for the 4 pieces that I have left for my 7th piece, I'm going to cover those with diamond wrap. And I'm not going to use a Jenga piece, so they lay catty-cornered or kind of cornered. And I'm going to go a 6-inch on both sides and a 4-inch on both sides. And then I'm going to use the smaller 4 inches on each edge. E6000 and hot glue to secure the top frames into place. Then I wanted to add a little something in the center, so I went with the floral gem, and I decided to trade the smaller gem out for a larger one that I'd picked up at Micheal's, and I glued it with hot glue. Now, to end this project, I used one of the brackets that came with the picture frames, so I just put that on the back of it so I could hang it. And now this project is finished. This week's quote comes from Sunshine Always, and her says, "Strive for progress, not for perfection." I love that. Thank you. And if you're watching and you have a message or a quote that's inspired you in some way, drop it in the comments below. Just put the word quote somewhere in your comment and I'll save it for a future video. I hope that you like this idea, and I'll see you again very soon in another DIY project.